Toastmaster, and a hearty welcome to our guests and, of course, our Toastmaster members. With a quick show of hands, how many people have traveled on a commercial airplane before? I think that's just about everybody. I can remember my first time on a commercial airplane flight. I remember nervously walking down the aisle, taking in all the sights and smells, trying to locate my seat. And then once I found my seat, trying to memorize where the emergency exits were on the plane. Because somehow I thought that having that memorized when the plane's going down at 700 miles an hour into the ground is going to help me. And then once I found my seat, listening intently to the flight attendant giving us pre-flight instructions. I was fine with my first airplane experience, up to the point that the flight attendant got to this portion of her pre-flight instructions.
In the unlikely event of a loss of cabin pressure, oxygen masks will appear. Place the mask over your nose and mouth and breathe normally. Oxygen will continue flowing to the mask even though the bag may or may not inflate. Secure your mask before assisting others with theirs.
Wait a minute. Are you saying that the bag and the mask may or may not inflate? Is this like a random event? Was there a form I missed when I boarded that said, yes, check here if you want an oxygen mask that works? Well, yeah, I do. I was a little freaked out by that, quite frankly. But I later learned, as you can surmise, that oxygen is still flowing to the mask, even though the bag may or may not inflate. Fast forward now, roughly to the present. About a month ago, I was taking a flight from Detroit to Dallas. And the flight attendant was giving her pre-flight instructions, which I now know by heart and routinely ignore. But this time, something that I've heard hundreds of times before really resonated with me. It's when the flight attendant got to this portion of her pre-flight instructions.
Secure your mask before assisting others with theirs.
I thought, well, how odd. That seems to run counter to everything that we were taught as children and young adults. Why would I take my mask and secure it to myself first? Why not secure it to my children? It didn't make much sense. In our society, most of us feel that the truly good people in the world always put others first. The truly good people in the world, they're the ones that wait until everyone else has had a slice of that scrumptious birthday cake, and then they take their piece. The truly good people in the world, they're the ones that are the first to open the door, but then the last to walk through. The truly good people in the world, we believe, are the ones that selflessly put others first. But there's a different way to look at that. Because if you are always putting others first, then by definition, you have to be placing yourself last. And if you're placing yourself last, then who is there to take care of you? I gained some wisdom from what I heard from the flight attendant talking about the oxygen mask. I realized that, I understood why that she was telling us to put the oxygen mask first. Does anybody know? It's because if you don't, you need to put the oxygen mask on first, because if you don't, you're not present and grounded and calm and able to breathe, then you're of no assistance to anyone. And there's an analogy here with the oxygen mask and life itself. Life, as in the oxygen mask, will continue to flow into your mask, whether you like it or not. And I don't know about you, but sometimes I have a difficult time when setting boundaries for myself when people are asking for a little bit of my time or oxygen. I have a difficult time saying no. People are always asking me for help with their computer problems, or the Toastmaster website, or children asking me to shuttle them from point A to point B. And I realize that, as in the oxygen mask, I have to give a little bit of time to myself. I have to set boundaries so that I have some oxygen left at the end of the day to give to others. Now, this could be as simple as curling up with a good book for a few minutes during the day, or logging onto the computer and checking what your Facebook friends are doing, or possibly just sitting and staring outside the window and pondering the day's events. Oxygen, like life itself, will always be flowing to your mask, whether or not the bag inflates or not. However, it's up to you to ensure that you secure your mask first before assisting others with theirs.